9 sacred sounds of nature. Hearing them means fortune is rising. Throughout history, humanity has sought signs of prosperity through visions and omens, yet many overlook one of the most powerful channels through which abundance communicates with us. Nature does not just speak through sights. It whispers fortune through sounds, creating an invisible symphony that carries messages of wealth and blessing to those who know how to listen. While some dismiss these sounds as mere background noise, walking through life with closed ears to nature's guidance, others who recognize and honor these sacred auditory messages consistently find themselves aligned with opportunities, abundance, and financial blessings that seem to arrive as if guided by unseen forces. This wisdom emerges from the understanding of sacred sounds of nature as direct messages of prosperity consciousness, acoustic frequencies that carry information about the flow of abundance into your life. These insights come from spiritual beliefs and traditions passed down through countless generations, not from scientific claims, but from the ancient recognition that nature communicates prosperity through every sense, including the profound power of sound. When you learn to recognize these 9 sacred sounds, you gain access to a guidance system that operates continuously around you, offering constant updates about the movement of fortune in your direction. Since the beginning of human spiritual practice, sound has held sacred power in connecting the physical and spiritual realms. Ancient traditions recognize that certain frequencies and vibrations can alter consciousness, attract blessings, and align individuals with cosmic forces of abundance. From Tibetan singing bowls to Vedic mantras, from cathedral bells to indigenous chants, humanity has always understood that sound carries spiritual energy, capable of transformation and manifestation. Nature itself serves as the original temple of sacred sound, where every creature, element, and movement creates vibrations that carry meaning for those who develop the sensitivity to receive these messages. Traditional prosperity masters knew that listening to nature's sounds with reverence and understanding could reveal timing, opportunities, and the flow of abundance in ways that visual observation alone cannot provide. These natural sounds operate as a continuous broadcast system from the universe, transmitting information about prosperity cycles, timing, and spiritual alignment. Today I will reveal 9 sacred sounds of nature that mean fortune is rising, each carrying specific messages about the abundance flowing toward your life and the prosperity consciousness awakening within and around you. Before we explore these sacred frequencies of fortune, I invite you to align with the harmony of prosperity by hitting that like button and subscribing to this channel right now. This small action does more than support the content creation process. Spiritually, it connects you to the harmony of prosperity consciousness, attuning your energy to frequencies of abundance that attract wealth and opportunity. When you engage with wisdom that elevates your spiritual understanding of prosperity, you create energetic resonance with the very forces we will discuss today. Morning bird songs, awakening of prosperity energy. In the sacred hours before dawn, when the world exists in the liminal space between night and day, the first birds begin their celestial chorus. These are not random sounds, but precise frequencies of awakening, each note carrying the energy of new beginnings and fresh opportunities. The melody rises and falls in patterns that seem to call prosperity into manifestation, as if the birds serve as nature's heralds, announcing the arrival of abundance with each sunrise. Spiritual meaning. Morning bird songs represent the awakening of prosperity consciousness, both in nature and within yourself. They signal that dormant opportunities are stirring to life, and that the universe is preparing to present you with fresh pathways to abundance. Each chirp and trill carries the energy of activation, awakening possibilities that were sleeping through the night of challenge or stagnation. Symbolism. Birds represent messengers between earth and sky, making their morning songs symbolic of divine communication reaching your earthly experience. Their ability to fly symbolizes freedom from limitation, while their songs at dawn represent the daily renewal of prosperity potential that comes with each new day. Folk wisdom. Many cultures consider the first bird song of morning to be especially auspicious for financial ventures and important decisions. Traditional wisdom teaches that opportunities begun when birds are singing are blessed with natural timing and divine support. Some prosperity traditions encourage making positive affirmations or setting intentions while listening to morning bird songs, believing the vibrations carry these desires directly to universal sources. Practical advice. Wake early occasionally to consciously listen to the morning bird chorus in your area. As you hear these sounds, set your financial intentions for the day and visualize opportunities awakening alongside the natural world. Consider this daily soundtrack as your personal prosperity alarm clock, signaling that your wealth consciousness should also awaken and become active. Inspirational message. Just as birds trust that their songs will attract what they need, you can trust that expressing your prosperity consciousness will attract the abundance you seek. The morning bird songs remind you that every day brings fresh potential for wealth and blessing, and your job is to awaken to receive it. Reflection. Ask yourself, what opportunities in my life might be awakening like the morning birds, and how can I tune my consciousness to recognize and respond to these emerging possibilities? Gentle rain falling, cleansing and renewal of wealth. Flow. The soft percussion of raindrops creates one of nature's most therapeutic and spiritually significant soundscapes. Each drop carries the essence of renewal, washing away stagnant energy while nourishing new growth. The gentle rhythm of rain falling creates a natural meditation soundtrack that soothes anxieties about money while clearing the energetic pathways through which abundance flows into your life. Spiritual meaning. Gentle rain represents the cleansing of old patterns, beliefs and energies that may be blocking your prosperity. It signals that whatever has been preventing wealth from flowing freely is being washed away, creating clean space for new abundance to enter your experience. Rain also represents blessing from above, divine provision falling naturally and abundantly. Symbolism. Rain connects heaven and earth, symbolizing how spiritual blessings translate into material abundance. The cyclical nature of rain represents the reliability of abundance when you align with natural prosperity principles. Each raindrop represents individual blessings that together create substantial transformation. Folk wisdom. Many traditions consider gentle rain during important moments to be extremely auspicious, representing heaven's approval and support for your endeavors. Rain during planting season promises good harvest, while rain, when starting new ventures, suggests that your efforts will be spiritually supported and materially successful. Practical advice. When you hear gentle rain, take time to listen mindfully rather than simply seeking shelter. Use this natural sound as meditation background while releasing any financial worries or scarcity thoughts, allowing the rain's energy to wash away limiting beliefs about your worthiness to receive abundance. Inspirational message. Like the rain that falls freely and abundantly on the earth, prosperity flows freely and abundantly to those who maintain open, receptive consciousness. You do not need to struggle for abundance any more than plants need to struggle for rain. Reflection. Consider this. What old beliefs or patterns about money and worth are ready to be washed away by the rain of renewal, and what new growth can emerge in the freshly cleansed space? Wind moving through trees. Fortune entering with movement. The sound of wind moving through trees creates a natural symphony that speaks of change, movement, and the circulation of energy. This rustling whisper carries messages about shifts in your fortune, telling you that stagnant situations are beginning to move and that new opportunities are being stirred into activity. The varying intensity of this sound reflects the ebb and flow of prosperity cycles. Spiritual meaning. Wind through trees represents change and movement in your financial situation. It signals that static conditions are beginning to shift and that fortune is actively moving in your direction. The sound indicates that universal forces are at work behind the scenes, arranging circumstances and opportunities that will soon become visible in your experience. Symbolism. Wind represents the invisible forces that move visible things, symbolizing how spiritual energy creates material change. Trees represent stability and growth, so wind moving through them symbolizes how change and prosperity can come to even the most established aspects of your life. The sound itself represents the voice of transformation. Folk wisdom. Traditional weather wisdom teaches that certain wind patterns bring good fortune, while the sound of wind in specific trees is considered especially meaningful for financial matters. Many cultures listen to wind patterns before making important business decisions, believing that the direction and intensity of wind can reveal favorable timing for prosperity ventures. Practical advice. When you hear wind moving through trees, pause to receive this as a message that change is coming to your financial situation. Use this moment to welcome positive change while releasing attachment to how your current circumstances must remain. Express gratitude for the movement of energy that brings new possibilities. Inspirational message. Like the wind that moves freely across the landscape, your prosperity has the power to move freely into any area of your life where you create openness to receive it. Trust the movement of abundance, even when you cannot yet see its destination. Reflection. Ask yourself, what aspects of my financial life are ready for positive change, and how can I work with the energy of movement to welcome new opportunities? Flowing river or stream, abundance, continuously arriving. The continuous sound of flowing water creates one of the most powerful prosperity frequencies in nature. Whether from a mighty river or a small stream, this constant flow represents abundance that never stops moving, never runs out, and always finds its way forward, regardless of obstacles. The sound itself becomes a mantra of continuous prosperity, reminding you that wealth flows as naturally as water flows downhill. Spiritual meaning. Flowing water sounds represent the continuous nature of universal abundance and your connection to prosperity that never ceases. They remind you that wealth is not a finite resource to be hoarded, but an infinite flow to be directed and received. This sound indicates that abundance is actively streaming toward your life right now. Symbolism. The perpetual movement of flowing water symbolizes how true prosperity is always in motion, always seeking lower ground where it can pool and create value. Rivers that flow toward the sea represent how individual prosperity contributes to universal abundance. The sound itself represents the voice of abundance speaking continuously. Folk wisdom. Throughout history, civilizations have recognized flowing water as the sound of prosperity and have built their most successful communities near rivers and streams. The sound of flowing water has been used in meditation practices specifically designed to attract wealth and maintain prosperity consciousness. Practical advice. Seek out locations where you can regularly hear flowing water, or use recordings of this sound during meditation or work focused on financial goals. Allow the continuous flow to remind you that your prosperity should also be continuous and ever moving rather than stagnant or hoarded. Inspirational message. Your connection to abundance is as constant and reliable as the flow of a river. Even when you cannot see the source, the flow continues. Even when obstacles appear, the water finds its way around them. Your prosperity operates with the same natural persistence. Reflection. Consider this. How can I embody the qualities of flowing water in my approach to wealth creation, always moving forward, always finding a way around obstacles, always connecting to the infinite source? Bees buzzing. Nearby, harmony and financial growth. The industrious hum of bees creates a soundtrack of productivity, cooperation, and systematic wealth creation. This buzzing frequency carries information about the power of consistent effort, community cooperation, and the sweet rewards that come from patient, purposeful work. The sound of bees represents prosperity that grows through harmony between individual effort and collective benefit. Spiritual meaning. Bee buzzing represents the harmonious alignment of personal prosperity with community good. It signals that your wealth creation efforts are in harmony with natural law and that your success will benefit not only yourself, but others as well. This sound indicates that your prosperity consciousness is operating at a frequency that attracts sustained abundance. Symbolism. Bees represent industrious effort guided by natural wisdom, symbolizing how true wealth comes from understanding your role in the larger ecosystem of abundance. Their creation of honey symbolizes how proper effort transforms simple resources into sweet abundance. The hive represents community prosperity built through individual contribution. Folk wisdom. Many traditions consider bees sacred messengers of prosperity and good fortune. The presence of bees is considered extremely auspicious for business ventures and financial growth. Some cultures believe that bee energy can be invoked to bring sweetness and success to monetary endeavors. Practical advice. When you hear bees buzzing, receive this as confirmation that your current efforts toward prosperity are aligned with natural law and will bear sweet fruit. Use this sound as inspiration to maintain consistent, purposeful action toward your financial goals while remaining mindful of how your success benefits others. Inspirational message. Like the bee that creates sweetness through purposeful work, you have the ability to transform your efforts into abundance that nourishes both yourself and your community. Trust in the process of consistent, meaningful action toward prosperity. Reflection. Ask yourself, how can I ensure that my wealth creation efforts are as harmonious and purposeful as the work of bees, benefiting both myself and the larger community of which I am part. Frogs, croaking at night, omen of prosperity, cycles. The rhythmic chorus of frogs in the evening creates a natural percussion section that speaks to cycles, timing, and the rhythm of abundance. These sounds emerge when conditions are right, when moisture and warmth create the perfect environment for life to flourish. The croaking of frogs represents prosperity that comes in natural cycles, and the importance of recognizing when conditions are optimal for financial growth. Spiritual meaning. Frog sounds represent the recognition of prosperity cycles and optimal timing for abundance. They signal that conditions in your life are aligning to support financial growth and that you should pay attention to timing in your wealth-building efforts. This sound indicates that a fertile period for prosperity is beginning. Symbolism. Frogs represent transformation and adaptation, as they live both in water and on land, symbolizing your ability to navigate both spiritual and material aspects of prosperity. Their nighttime activity represents the hidden preparation that happens before abundance becomes visible. Their chorus represents collective celebration of favorable conditions. Folk wisdom. Many cultures interpret frog sounds as predictions of rain and abundance, making them traditional omens of prosperity. Some traditions teach that hearing frogs when making financial decisions indicates favorable timing and natural support for your endeavors. Practical advice. When you hear frogs croaking, consider this a reminder to pay attention to cycles and timing in your financial life. Evaluate whether current conditions support your prosperity goals and whether you might be entering a particularly fertile period for wealth creation. Inspirational message. Like frogs that emerge when conditions are perfect, your greatest prosperity opportunities come when you learn to recognize and act during optimal timing. Trust in the natural rhythms of abundance rather than forcing wealth creation during unfavorable cycles. Reflection. Consider this. What cycles am I currently experiencing in my financial life, and how can I better align my efforts with natural timing to maximize prosperity potential? Crickets or cicadas. Singing, persistence, and incoming blessings. The persistent chirping of crickets or the rhythmic singing of cicadas creates a soundtrack of endurance, patience, and the rewards that come to those who maintain consistency despite challenges. These sounds often emerge during warm periods when life is abundant, representing the fruition of long periods of patient effort and the celebration of prosperity finally arriving. Spiritual meaning. Cricket and cicada sounds represent the rewards of persistence and the celebration of prosperity that comes after periods of patient effort. They signal that your consistent work toward abundance is about to pay off and that blessings earned through persistence are approaching your experience. Symbolism. Crickets represent good luck and prosperity in many traditions, while their persistent singing symbolizes the power of consistent positive action. Cicadas, which emerge after years underground, represent prosperity that comes after long preparation and the celebration of abundance after periods of hidden growth. Folk wisdom. Throughout many cultures, crickets in the home or nearby are considered extremely lucky for financial matters. The song of cicadas is often interpreted as nature's celebration of abundance and fertility. These sounds are traditionally associated with good harvests and profitable business periods. Practical advice. When you hear crickets or cicadas, receive this as encouragement to maintain persistence in your prosperity efforts. Use these sounds as natural motivation to continue consistent positive action toward your financial goals, knowing that your patient efforts are building toward significant rewards. Inspirational message. Like the cricket that sings consistently through the night or the cicada that emerges after years of patient preparation, your prosperity will manifest through persistent positive action and patient cultivation of abundance consciousness. Reflection. Ask yourself, where in my financial life do I need to maintain greater persistence and patience, trusting that consistent effort will eventually produce the abundance I am working toward? Waves of the sea, infinite fortune. Like the ocean, the rhythmic sound of ocean waves creates one of the most powerful and hypnotic abundance frequencies available in nature. Each wave represents a new opportunity arriving at the shores of your life, while the endless rhythm represents the infinite nature of universal prosperity. The ocean's vast sound speaks to abundance without limit, wealth that is measureless, and fortune that arrives continuously like waves upon the shore. Spiritual meaning. Ocean wave sounds represent connection to infinite abundance and the understanding that prosperity is limitless. They signal that you are aligning with the vast scope of universal wealth and that your capacity to receive abundance is expanding to oceanic proportions. Symbolism. The ocean represents the infinite source of all abundance, while waves represent individual manifestations of that abundance arriving in your experience. The rhythmic nature of waves symbolizes the reliability of prosperity when you align with universal principles. The power of the ocean represents the magnitude of abundance available to you. Folk wisdom. Coastal cultures worldwide associate ocean sounds with prosperity and good fortune. Many traditions teach that meditation with ocean sounds expands consciousness to receive greater abundance. The sea has always been associated with trade, exploration, and the discovery of new sources of wealth. Practical advice. Spend time listening to ocean waves, either in person or through recordings, while contemplating the infinite nature of abundance. Allow the vastness of the ocean sound to expand your conception of how much prosperity is available to you and your worthiness to receive oceanic abundance. Inspirational message. Like the ocean that contains more water than you could ever measure, universal abundance contains more prosperity than you could ever exhaust. Your connection to this infinite source means that scarcity is an illusion and abundance is your natural state. Reflection. Consider this. How can I expand my consciousness to receive abundance as vast as the ocean, and what limiting beliefs about scarcity need to be dissolved in the infinite ocean of universal prosperity? Sacred silence. Broken by nature's call, universe, sending messages of wealth. In moments of deep natural silence, when the world seems to pause in reverent quiet, the sudden call of an owl, the coo of a dove, or the cry of a hawk creates a profound spiritual moment. These sounds break through silence like direct messages from the universe, carrying specific guidance about your prosperity path and serving as cosmic communication about abundance flowing into your life. Spiritual meaning. Nature's calls. Breaking sacred silence represent direct communication from universal intelligence about your prosperity. These sounds carry specific messages about timing, direction, and opportunities that require your immediate attention. They signal that the universe is actively guiding your wealth creation through natural signs. Symbolism. Sacred silence represents receptive consciousness, while the animal call represents divine communication piercing through ordinary awareness. Different animals carry different prosperity messages. Owls represent wisdom in financial decisions. Doves represent peace and harmony in abundance. Hawks represent clear vision of opportunities. Folk wisdom. Indigenous traditions worldwide interpret animal calls in silence as direct messages from spiritual guides about life direction and material success. These sounds are considered especially significant for major financial decisions and are often interpreted as either encouragement or warning about prosperity ventures. Practical advice. When you experience nature's call-breaking silence, stop and receive this as a direct message about your prosperity path. Pay attention to the type of animal, the direction of the sound, and your immediate intuitive response, as these details may contain specific guidance about your financial situation. Inspirational message. The universe speaks to you constantly through natural signs and sounds. When you develop the sensitivity to receive these messages, you gain access to guidance that can direct you toward unprecedented abundance and away from costly mistakes. Reflection. Ask yourself, what messages might the universe be sending me through natural sounds, and how can I develop greater sensitivity to receive and interpret this guidance for my prosperity journey? As we conclude this journey through the sacred sounds of nature that herald rising fortune, take a moment to appreciate the continuous symphony of abundance guidance that surrounds you every day. From the awakening energy of morning bird songs to the cleansing renewal of gentle rain, from the movement of wind through trees to the continuous flow of streams, each sound carries specific information about prosperity, consciousness, and wealth manifestation. We have explored how the industrious buzzing of bees signals harmony and wealth creation, how frogs croaking announces optimal prosperity cycles, how crickets and cicadas celebrate persistent effort rewarded, how ocean waves connect us to infinite abundance, and how sacred silence broken by nature's call delivers direct messages from universal intelligence about our wealth path. Which of these sacred sounds have you heard recently? More importantly, Which ones are you now inspired to listen for with new awareness and reverence? Remember that prosperity comes not only through visual signs, but through developing the spiritual sensitivity to hear nature's continuous whispers of abundance guidance. These sounds operate as a constant broadcast system from the universe, transmitting real-time information about the flow of abundance in your direction. When you learn to listen with spiritual ears, you gain access to prosperity guidance that operates continuously around you, offering insights about timing, opportunities, and alignment that can transform your relationship with wealth. May you always be surrounded by the sacred sounds of rising fortune, and may your ears be open to receive the abundance guidance that flows through every frequency of nature's voice. Trust that the universe speaks to you constantly through these natural sounds, offering direction, encouragement, and confirmation about your path to prosperity. Before you go, I want you to join our community of abundance listeners by writing this affirmation in the comments. I am in harmony with the sacred sounds of prosperity. Share this from your heart, and let our global family witness your commitment to receiving the wealth guidance that nature offers continuously. If this video has opened your ears to the sacred sounds already surrounding you, please share it with others who need to develop sensitivity to nature's prosperity messages. When you share wisdom that helps people receive abundance guidance, you amplify the prosperity frequencies available to everyone. May you always hear the sounds of nature guiding you toward abundance. Until we meet again, remember that the universe is constantly communicating with you through the sacred sounds of the natural world, and your willingness to listen with reverence opens the pathways through which infinite prosperity flows into your experience. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of nature's acoustic wisdom. The sounds are all around you, waiting to guide those who have developed ears to hear the frequencies of fortune.